Joining us now, the great Nick Kostos, host of You Better You Bet, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. Insider calls presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Catch You Better You Bet on the new Westwood One Sports Network. Weekdays 9 to noon. And You Better You Bet countdown to kickoff Sundays 11 to 1. What's up, Kostos?
What's going on, guys? Great to be on with you today. How we doing?
What's up, Nick?
How's the new schedule treating you? You know, we're all creatures of habit, so I know adjusting to a little bit earlier must have been different for you. How are you doing with it?
So this is like the second full week. I've done 7 shows so far with a couple days off for the holiday last week. I would say that I'm starting to like it, but I'm still like exhausted at night, which is not a complaint. Just like it's a different schedule now. So like last night, because you have to, I'm on at 9 a.m. So I'm waking up earlier now. And you stay up to watch the Ole Miss Miami game. I don't fall asleep until like 1 a.m. because I'm wired, and then you're up early. So aside from that, it's great. I get to spend more time with my daughter and my wife, which is awesome. So no complaints thus far.
Great.
Dude, the hair is looking good, brother. It looks good, man. You look good today, Nick.
Listen, I got, we're clanging and banging a little bit. Just saying.
Looks good,
not
man.
Bad. Not bad.
We just got a bicep flex if you're just listening and not watching. So, Kostos, last I saw, Eagles 5.5 point favorites. You've been on the Eagles all year. You were on the Eagles all last year. How you feeling about this one?
I think the Eagles will win and win big on Sunday. I think the point spread needs to be a little bigger. Maybe Trent Williams plays in the game. We don't have a Friday practice report yet from the Niners, but he had a limited practice yesterday. Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. And I think the way it's going to turn out is Nick Sirianni's decision to not play anyone last week, even though they lost to the Commanders, didn't get the 2 seed, I think is probably going to be a good thing to get everybody back healthy and get everybody to 100%. And San Francisco is kind of the walking wounded right now. Got stuffed into a locker last week by the Seahawks. Seattle's got a really good defense. I think the Eagles' defense is just as good, if not better. I think the Eagles win. I think they win by 7 or more coming up on Sunday and advance to the second round.
Wow. Yeah. When I saw when I saw the line at 3.5, it was what it opened at. That is what gave me pause because, like you, I was like, this feels like a 6 or 6.5 game. And when it wasn't, that weirded me out a little bit. But it's built up to 5.5. Where do you think it ends at game time?
I think that Kittle's going to play. We'll see about Pearsall. I think Trent Williams will probably play. I think we'll close at 5.5, like really close to 6. Like 5 is what's called a dead number. Like think about the math of the NFL. Games don't land 5 that often.
Yep.
6 games can land with the way the math of the NFL works. So I think we'll probably close 5.5. I do like the Eagles, and I think the Eagles are one of 2 teams that are most likely to win the Super Bowl. Both play in the NFC. The other is the Los Angeles Rams. And if and when the Eagles and Rams play each other, obviously, advantage Eagles. Game will be in Philadelphia. So the Eagles are my bet to win the Super Bowl. But if it's not Philly, I do think it will be the LA Rams.
Before we get to the other games, sort of prediction. I have a number in my head. Let's say next week it's Rams at Eagles. Let's say the games go, the Eagles win 23-10 and the Rams go in there and smoke the Panthers. What do you think the line is on a Rams-Eagles game in Philly next week?
Rams -1. The Rams will be favored.
Yep. I thought 1.5. That was
break out the underdog mask.
Yeah. So
the Rams, it'll basically be pick the winner of the game. Like I'll bet the Eagles if that's what it is, but like that would be if I were an Eagles fan, which I'm not. But I am an Eagles bettor here.
Yep.
That's the team that concerns you. I wouldn't be concerned with any other team in the end. Maybe slightly having to go to Seattle, but it's Darnold against Jalen Hurts, and one guy has won in a big spot, the other hasn't. The Rams would be the only team that I would fear in the NFC.
So of the other games this weekend, what do you like the most?
I love the Steelers on Monday night as a home dog against the Texans. Now, that point spread was 3.5 a couple days ago. Now it looks like we're going to come down to 2.5. But I still think if you can get a piece of Steelers +3, I think that's a good bet. It's not that Houston shouldn't be a road favorite in the game. It's that Houston can't be a 3-point road favorite. Their offense stinks, and the Steelers are home. And not that this matters, but it's a way for me to pump up my pathetic football team. The Steelers haven't lost at home on Monday Night Football since they lost to the Giants in 1991, which has nothing to do with anything other than me getting to say something nice about the Giants. And it's nothing to do with anything. So I like the Steelers plus the 3.5. I do like Green Bay tomorrow night in Chicago. Now, there's a caveat associated with this. we don't know how bad the wind is going to be. It may be like 30 miles per hour. Obviously, outdoor game in Chicago in the Windy City in January at night makes sense, right? If the wind is really bad, we won't know till tomorrow. I think it's advantage Bears. But if it's not, and that's where we're trending, I think the Packers are better than Chicago. I think the Packers will win the game tomorrow night in Soldier Field.
You know, you mentioned you're a Giants fan. Now, everyone expects John Harbaugh to go to the Giants, or at least that's the...
Not happening.
Wow.
I don't think so.
So you don't think it'll happen? Or what would your preference be?
Well, my preference is Kevin Stefanski.
Ah, interesting. Why?
But with that, I think he's the right coach to work with Jackson Dart.
Okay.
Like if you told me Harbaugh was coming with like Todd Monken, and even like I don't love Todd Monken, but I think he's a good offensive coordinator. Who is his offensive coordinator? And the other thing with Harbaugh is, he was kind of at the forefront a number of years ago. Like think about the way coaches go for 2 now and go for it on 4th downs. Harbaugh was one of the first coaches that did that. And now as the years have gone on, it feels like everyone's kind of caught up. And now like, what's he on the cutting edge of? Like I would actually argue nothing. And that doesn't mean he's not a good coach, or I wouldn't want him to coach the Giants. He would be probably my 3rd choice, honestly. Stefanski would be my top choice. I'd love Brian Flores, but he's kind of suing the Giants, so I don't know if that will happen.
Yeah, it might be a weird vibe.
Yeah, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'd be okay with Harbaugh, but here's what I think is going to happen with Harbaugh. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So, I promise this will all make sense. The Buffalo Bills are at a pick'em price on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Packers are at basically a pick'em price tomorrow night against the Chicago Bears. Now, I said prior to last week's Sunday Night Football Ravens-Steelers that if the Ravens lose, they're going to fire John Harbaugh. And people are like, oh my God, how could you say that? There's no way. Well, it happens. Not that that means I'm going to be right about this, but I think I'm going to be right about it. If the Buffalo Bills lose on Sunday to Jacksonville, we are at an identical timeline to the Ravens with John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. They're in the same draft class. The coaches have been there the whole time. We will enter year 9 in 26 without even getting to a Super Bowl if the Bills don't get there. If the Bills lose on Sunday, they need to fire Sean McDermott. That needs to be it. And is John Harbaugh the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills? Like, why would John Harbaugh coach the Giants if you could coach Josh Allen and win easier next year?
Yeah.
Right.
The other one to consider. And I think the Bills should fire McDermott if they lose. I don't think the Packers should fire Matt LaFleur if they lose, but there is a lot of smoke around Matt LaFleur's job security. And the Miami Dolphins just hired today the Green Bay Packers vice president of personnel to be their new general manager, and they have a head coaching vacancy. What if the Packers lose to the Bears and fire Matt LaFleur, and John Harbaugh can go coach Jordan Love and Micah Parsons? So my sense on Harbaugh, when it came out that he's waiting until next week to take interviews, there's no way that's by accident. I'm sure he's waiting to see what happens this weekend with some of these playoff teams that may end up firing their coaches.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yep.
One last quick one. Just if you had a thought on the Rams minus 10 or 10.5 at the Panthers.
So I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah.
Do I think they'll win by more than 10? Maybe. Betting wise, I'd put the Rams at, I like the Rams and Eagles as 2 legs of a money line parlay. I think they'll both win. Just, on November 30th, the Panthers beat the Rams in Carolina 31-28. So they played 5 weeks ago and Carolina won. Everything went right for the Panthers in that game.
Yeah.
Won the turnover battle 3-0, had a pick 6. Carolina went 7 of 15 on 3rd down and 3 for 3 on 4th down. Ran really hot on high leverage downs. So that can happen again. It doesn't have to be that it doesn't. And if it happens, Carolina can definitely win. Just what's the chance that happens?
Right.
I think it's pretty slim. Devontae Adams is back. I think the Rams win. Do they win by more than 10? I'm not sure. I'm not going to bet the game. I think the Rams will win.
All right. Well, Kostos, congratulations on the new show. That is 9 to noon on the Westwood One Sports Network. And good luck with the bets this weekend, my friend.
Yeah, I did an interview earlier today with Awful Announcing.
Okay.
And they asked me, Spike, about your comments on Sports Radio recently.
Oh, yeah.
And if I agree. And I got to say, I love Spike Eskin, and he's really smart, and I agree with him, and I love going on his show. So you got to plug in my interview. How about that?
Well, thank you, because the I almost said a bad word there. Awful Announcing loves to get people to say something about me that isn't positive. I don't know why. Maybe the clicks are great. I don't know. So I appreciate you doing that. All that means is that it's not going to be a headline. That's all that means.
Fine.
If you had said Spike,
tell the truth.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Kostos.
Scrawny, has bad tattoos, bad sports takes.
Hey!
Should have called him a Nepo baby.
Hey.
Listen, like Spike's dad can be who he is. Spike is talented. So you can't say that a Nepo babies don't have talent. Spike has talent.
Well,
so,
thank you.
There we go.
Thank you, Kostos.
Here we go.
All right. Get out of here, brother.
Wishing everybody minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck. And I will admit, in closing, I have considered placing a futures bet on the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
I don't think it's my Knicks, but
Nicky Philadelphia.
Yep.
All the Philly teams.
All right, Kostos, take it easy, man.
All
There
right,
is.
brother.
Phillies suck. Bye.
All right, there it is. Host of You Better You Bet, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider Nick Kostos.
They're about to get Boba shit.
Insider Calls presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary for all your betting and sports talk needs. Check out the BetMGM network on the Odyssey app. There he is, the great Nick Kostos. Actually, that is not right. It is not the BetMGM network. You hear it on the Westwood One Sports Network.